bada bing, bada bing, bada boom.
We are the people of Mercury. I am your interplanetary host, Travis Montgomery. These views reflect one planet and one planet
This is
alone.
a Mercury's Mini, the conservative conundrum, with the Italian Autobot, Nag, Charger, anything but Stallion, because I think that's copyrighted. Scott Sonic Berardini, DJ Sonic, how are we doing?
Oh, you know how I'm doing. I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
I'm just doing.
Well, as the title would indicate, this is the conservative conundrum. We are both some form of conservative. I would call myself a classical liberal, which by today's standards is very conservative. You're somewhere on that spectrum as well, be it alt-light, be it traditional Republican, be it whatever it is.
Yes.
Where would you say you fall?
I'd say, any alt-light, I like the memes, man. That's where I'm at.
Just the meme, right? No hate.
No hate. No hate.
You like our melanin endowed?
Yes.
Good to hear.
Yes.
I wasn't concerned about it. I just wanted our viewers to hear.
Yeah.
Listeners. I don't even know I'm saying viewers. Nobody likes me enough to watch live. I'm listening to you in Guangxing, China. The joke never gets old. So, this has been a very divisive and just horribly polarized economic climate as of late. Even now, the Trump fiascos never let up, be it real fiascos or hashtag fake news. We find our president in the media quite a lot. I'd like to do our best to avoid him today.
All right.
Instead, we'll focus on core politics. You say you're a member of the alt-light. The left would call you a member of a hate group.
I've been called a Nazi more times than I can count on both my hands and my feet. So it's.
Well, I mean, you are Italian, so you must be a fascist.
Yes, of course.
Heil Mussolini.
Yeah. Rigatoni.
Our glorious leader, Fettuccine.
Alfredo.
So, when people say alt-light, we've discussed this with a previous guest. What does it mean to you when you claim that mantle?
To me, it's I don't go along with most of the conservative kind of people today. I don't think they're true conservatives, to be honest.
Well, let me stop you there. What is it about them that is disingenuous to the word conservative?
I don't know. Whenever I think conservative, I think, American values, family values. And some of these people that claim to be conservative today are not that. And they're throughout the government and our media everywhere. It's I don't know, it's disturbing to me because they claim to be this thing, but they're not, Now,
I don't want to feed you viewpoints, but it's my understanding that the word conservative means to be, conservative about things, minimalist, less interventionist. Mm-hmm. I find that the current neoconservative party is very warmongering, very, very big on government spending, and I feel like that isn't to spend exorbitant amounts of money on anything. And as much as they want to target welfare, we all know that the biggest budgeting issues in our country are regarding military.
Mm-hmm.
So, would, at least for you, being a true conservative as opposed to me, who's, shall we say, more minimalist, to put it lightly, would you say that that's a fair claim about the traditionalist conservative party?
Yes, I would say that.
Because I don't see
indeed.
the Republican Party as being conservative anymore. I see them as very
No.
liberal with their spending.
Exactly.
So what American values are you concerned with that you see changing in America that you think the government has a hand in?
I'd have to. I don't know. I see them thoughts at the Constitution sometimes, and I don't know, it's weird that it's like they don't follow it, and I don't know, for some reason that just bugs me.
Would you say it bothers you because they took an oath, or it bothers you because
Exactly, because they took an oath, and I you'd think they'd follow that, but
But the Constitution is old. Surely, it can't be followed to a T today, right?
Well, the way that I see that is, there were no problems that entire time following those rules. So,
I mean, there have been revisions throughout the years.
oh yeah, there have been revisions there, but to me,
Or is your issue that they haven't bothered to make revisions? Instead, they just blatantly ignore it.
What?
Well, okay, so in the past, this is my issue with it, at least. I see, and you can feel free to call me out on any of this.
Oh,
that's why you're here. You're my bullshit detector. In the past, when there have been issues or conflicts, or maybe oversights in the Constitution, our government has assembled and gotten together and determined whether any amendments should be made. In recent years, however, it's just been executive orders and unconstitutional laws being passed without any concern for amending the Constitution.
Yep.
Would you prefer them make the changes through the established legal process of, constitutional amendments, or would you prefer them find a different way? I mean, some people view the Constitution as very sacred, something that shouldn't be touched. Do you think amendments could be in order? Or would you be more open to amending it opposed to the current way of doing it?
That is the way that I view it. I see it as something sacred. I wouldn't. I think this country, is wrapped around that, and it should be wrapped around that too. And it's not just for one group of people or anything. It's for everybody. And I believe that if that was held up and followed, everything would turn out to be fine.
So would you be opposed to them amending it through due legal process, though?
It would. I don't know. That's a hard one to call.
Well, let's put it this way. If an amendment were proposed that did not contradict the core foundation of the Constitution, would you be more open to the idea of that as opposed to passing separate laws?
Yes, I would. I'd be perfectly fine with that, but I'd have to see and hear about it first. The
government are supposed to be our representatives, so surely if they were attempting to amend the Constitution itself, we as citizens are involved in that process.
Mm-hmm. And that's the only reason I'd be fine with that. If
it's almost fair to say, at least in my opinion, that you're just in the alt-right for the memes. You seem like a constitutionalist, if anything.
Yeah.
Say what you will about them. I certainly have my disagreements, but
I mean, like I am in the alt-right, but that isn't just me wrapped around the Constitution. But yes,
I still think you're in the alt-right for the Pepes, the rare Pepes,
the
limited edition Pepes.
Yes, the holographic Pepes,
the reverse Pepes.
The Pepe gifts.
Oh boy. Well, I prefer my reverse cards, so call me a...
I place my Pepe in face down defense mode.
Well, I triggered a Pepe trap card. So, and everyone knows traps are gay.
Yes. If you throw a brick up in the air and it hits the ground, it means traps are gay.
And to any of our LGBTQIARSTUVWXYZ listeners, I'm actually a very pro-LGB person.
I am as well.
I have absolutely no issues with the LGB community. There might be some on the last letter there, the T, but not so much big issues, so much as little personal issues and beliefs, and not beliefs that I would ever force on any of you. So I have my own prejudice, but I do not believe that it is my right to enforce anything on you. And I believe that you, as free people, can choose whatever they want, whatever you want to do with your genitals.
Yes, I 150% agree with that as well.
You are beautiful, lovable people, and I don't want you to think that. And mind you, this is too bigoted, hateful, right-wing nut jobs. I don't think anyone, at least either of us here, hate you. Just know that.
And yes, no one hates you. And yeah.
Well, I mean, there might be people that hate you, but none of them are here.
Oh, yeah. We're not those people.
But on the adverse, I will say that in my science textbooks, if you do throw a brick in the air and it falls back to the ground, traps are gay.
Yes, that is a fact.
I read it on the internet. It must be true.
Scientifically proven.
I think I saw it on Bill Nye.
From Harvard.
Nah, I think it was on Bill Nye. You want to fight? Square up.
Bill Nye.
So I know we birdwalked here, but I think we've gotten a little bit, at least a decent little idea of what we're dealing with the DJ Sonic.
Yep. My bad.
Loud noises. Goodness.
That was totally my fault. My fidget spinner fell out of my hand.
He dropped his fidget spinner, guys. That's a throwback to the fidget spinner episode. Oh no. Well, on that note, did not think we'd go there again. Where we're going to go now is on a little bit more of a personal route. We've addressed how horrible and awful you are. As a conservative in America, would you say that the left is very tolerant of you?
I don't know what they're tolerant of. I just know it isn't me. Being a conservative.
Do they call you mean things?
Oh, they call me a bunch of mean things, man. Like I stay up at night until like 5 o'clock in the morning crying my eyes out because they call me all these mean things. Like they call me a Nazi. They call me a Nazi.
Do you need a safe space?
They call me a Nazi, man.
Do you need a safe space?
No, I don't need a safe space. I don't know. I don't do safe spaces. I am my safe space.
My body is a temple exactly. Called sleep space.
Yes.
I think that's the core misunderstanding the left has with the right, is that many of us, even people like me, where I'm not a traditional right winger, I'm very, very fiscally conservative, but I'm very socially liberal.
Yeah.
Even with me, they don't understand that you can call me whatever you want. I mean, people on the Republican side call me a dirty hippie all the time, and people on the left call me a fascist Nazi. And what's entertaining is they expect it to hurt my feelings, especially on the left. They virtue signal and they straw man me to death. They give these ridiculous arguments of the most improbable circumstances.
Oh, yeah. That's the fact right there.
And expect to hurt my feelings, but they don't understand that we're not the ones advocating for safe spaces.
Exactly. And to me, safe spaces, that them as a whole, safe spaces, I don't see them as anything good, to be honest.
It's just shutting out differing ideas, and the fact that they're on campuses is disgusting.
That
These campuses are where we're supposed to be learning.
That, and I also see it as
learning to be adults.
a safety hazard. My bad, not reason, hazard. I see it as a safety hazard because if you need a safe space and you're calling people Nazis and stuff, what do you think's going to happen if one day somebody had enough? What if somebody had enough and you're in your safe space? All your friends are in your safe space. What do you think's going to happen when somebody has enough? I'm not advocating violence right here, but someone someday is going to have enough and they're going to get tired. They're going to get sick and tired of being called these things whenever they know that they're not. And they're going to come in there in your safe space. And they're going to mass trigger you. Exactly.
It's going to be a mass trigger.
That's what you could call it. Yes.
Well, I don't want to say that, but I would say that when you're going around antagonizing half of the U.S. population,
exactly,
it would be a better idea to scatter yourselves instead of grouping.
Not gain altogether. Yeah.
Now, I in no way advocate any form of violence. However, what I have noticed is those in safe spaces often do advocate for violence because they feel justified.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I don't think that someone's. I think where you're wrong, Scott, is I don't think someone's going to finally snap and have enough of it. I think what's going to happen is the people in their safe spaces are going to advocate for so much harm and so much oppression of those that differ from their carefully groomed beliefs. They're going to advocate for violence, and what's going to happen is going to be a mass retaliation.
Yep.
And we see it already in the political climate of, I think one of the recurring themes on this show, especially when we have people on the right, is people on the right are very tired. They're tired of being attacked. They're tired of having their values attacked. They're tired of being demonized for holding what they see as wholesome, family values and traditional beliefs.
Exactly.
They're tired of that being attacked.
As if
they're tired of character attack. They're tired of
being demonized for what they believe is,
Instead of their political views being attacked, they're attacked for their personal views,
for their appearance. It's everything. It's every little thing you can think
everything that doesn't fit what what the safe space view of what society should be is suddenly made a target, and the media, for the most part, is in on it. So, it's
like a fascistic time.
Yeah, it's just like it's Orwellian Germany in a sense. It's Orwellian. So where I think you might be right is, I think those in their safe spaces need to be careful what they're fostering and the trends that they're setting and the things that they're normalizing in society, because it could very well end up backfiring.
Without a doubt, because I've seen people get angry because they're tired of being called this or that, told that they don't matter because, it's because of their values and their beliefs. But whenever you do it to I don't know, it's and they get angry and they just want to, they want to harm. They want to harm. I've seen it. And I've seen people. I've seen those.
I think
people,
I witnessed threats on your page.
I have plenty of threats, and I've also seen people say that, like at the protests and kind of stuff, when it's supposed to be peaceful, and somebody's hitting a conservative, and the conservative doesn't fight back. I see a ton of people, lists of them, comment sections and groups and shit.
It's okay. And they're Nazis.
They're saying it's time. It's time to stop standing by. We got to fight back.
Oh,
I've seen that.
Well, yeah, when you normalize hurting people based on their beliefs, saying, oh, they're Nazis, it's okay to hurt them. And I'm not talking about the real neo-Nazis. The issue here is the line of distinction has been drawn. And the funny thing is the neo-Nazis are protesting peacefully. Mm-hmm. Like the actual Nazis are protesting.
You see Richard fucking Spencer out there peacefully protesting the the bombs in Syria.
The alt-right fascist.
Exactly.
Protesting war. And then you've got people on the left rooting for war, rooting for intervention overseas. And it's such an interesting... And by the way, for anyone listening, we will never have a guest on this show that likes Richard Spencer.
No, I hate him. I hate him. I don't even know how he's a leader of anything. Look, do you ever look at him? Does he look intimidating? Like, he doesn't look smart.
His ideologies are hypocritical. He's a pansy. And
he has a bad haircut. He has a bad haircut.
He's an intellectual dullard. You know,
he wears cardigans.
And he wears cardigans. And I think that's where we're going to end this, is that Richard Spencer wears cardigans. And to any of you on the quote-unquote alt-right, you need to join the alt-right or you risk wearing cardigans as well.
Exactly. We still got Pepe memes.
This has been another Mercury's Mini with DJ Scott Sonic Berardini. Insert Sonic. There we go. Okay, let's attempt number 2. This has been another Mercury's Mini with Alexander F.U. and Scott Sonic Berardini. Thank you. How do you stay classy, San Diego?
Did you right?